Shalom and good day all, this is the Healing 29 back again for another lot of DC reviews, and in this lot of DC reviews I have Absolute Power issue 3, the Batman Absolute Power tie-in issue 152, and last but not least we have the Trinity special one-shot. I'll now get things organised for the first one that will be reviewed. So starting off with Absolute Power issue 3. Does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? Sure enough it does, to which I give it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the area of the internal art as we have a look around the beginning, middle and of course the end, and also what is happening story-wise with the characters. So as the story begins, or as we look around the beginning of the story, we are on the area of Gamora Island with the Brainiac Queen and Amanda Waller, along with the rest of her villains for hire, I guess. Whilst this is happening, we are making an appearance to the land of Themyscira, along with the heroes that are trying to avoid capture from Amanda Waller. As we draw towards the middle of the story, we catch up with the character of Bizarro, to which we get to see some things happening with him, along with some of the other characters who are present on the scene. If I must bring up one thing, I'm surprised that we haven't seen Commissioner Gordon actually sort of like put his input into the situation. Like, does he think Amanda Waller's gone too far? Yes, I know the character of Batman is in this story, but it would actually be interesting to hear his input in these events. And last but not least, we are reunited with the character of John Kent. Now take note that this is the John Kent that is connected to the Brian Michael Bendis, Tom Taylor universe, not the Dan Jurgens universe, or Dan Jurgens timeline. And of course, the characters of the Titans and other people helping out. So for the internal art, I give it a 6.5, as it felt like the art wasn't at its greatest peak in the story. Next is the area of the story itself. Now, seeing that we do know that this story has tie-ins, did it have any comic book reference tie-ins to anything that might be important as to what's playing out in the story? Sure enough, there wasn't, so yeah. Next is the area of time, as we still don't know what time that this is taking place. What time throughout the day. Some of these events taking place at night, afternoon, evening, you get the gist. Next is the area of the locations, to which we have Gotham City at the beginning, even though I didn't get to show that for that very first page at the beginning, but we do get Gotham City. We have Gamora, Themyscira, we also have China make an appearance, we also have the OSS, a ship, and also a particular, I think it's a castle as well, and it makes an appearance. The cast of characters, okay, the cast of characters, best way to put it is some of the Titans characters, some of the Justice League characters, and that's about all. And no real sign of the Teen Titans characters. So apart from that, we still have got to see the Flash, Mr. Terrific, plus a couple of other characters, including Aquaman, because he also helped. For the overall story rating, I give it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the Batman tie-in in relation to this. Now, I will not be covering the backstory in this, just the main story. So, first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? Not so much, to which I give it a 6.5 out of 10, but let's see how things go internally art-wise with the story around the beginning, middle, and of course the end, and also what's happening story-wise with the characters. So as the story begins, we have the return of Batman and Selina as they're up against Black Alice and a couple of other ones, or Gunsmith. We also have Bizarro and Darkseid making an appearance in this story, as Selina and Batman are working on getting a hold of a mother box. Of course, as the story advances, they go up against their respective villains, including some villains I don't know. And last but not least, towards the end, to which they finally get a hold of the mother box. For the internal art, I gave it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the area of the story. Considering how far we are issue-wise, did we get any comic book references to any of the issues that might be connected to what's actually happening here? No, we didn't. No, it probably wouldn't have hurt to include it. Next is the area of time. No indication of time. No indication of where things are taking place location-wise, which I think is very stupid. You do need that stuff in the story. And of course, last but not least, the cast of characters, to which we have Batman, which we know is Bruce Wayne. We have Catwoman, Gunsmith, Black Alice, Bizarro, and last but not least, the character of Darkseid. The overall story rating for this, I give a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the Trinity special. So, moving into the area of the Trinity special, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside story-wise? Well, seeing that this is basically a collection of all of the stories that have taken place behind or the backstory in Wonder Woman, I would have to give this cover a 6.5 out of 10, as I feel it doesn't really suit what is actually happening in this special. Next is the area of the internal arts, which we'll have a look around the beginning, middle, and of course the end. I do want to point out that this does have multiple stories in it, including an additional one towards the end, but I will be rating it all as one story. So starting off, we move into an area to which we have the Super Sons babysitting, of course, Lizzo. And of course, what happens there within the story. Moving towards the middle, to which we can see quite a number of places making an appearance within the story. And slowly moving towards the end. And last but not least, the very end. For the internal art, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Next is the area in relation to the story itself. With this, we had a few years from now, so a lot of it's sort of like set in a future which we have the character of Lizzo, or Trinity, being the fraudulent Trinity, I'm calling it, the fraudulent Trinity, to which the Trinity should really consist of Maya, Damian Wayne, and last but not least, John Samuel Kent. So, whilst we're given the fraudulent Trinity in this, we do get quite a bit of information. Next is the locations. We see the Fortress of Solitude, plus many other additional places, including Themyscira, Metropolis. Next is the cast of characters, to which we have Damian Wayne, Robin, who also comes to be Batman in the story. Of course, John Kent's Superboy, who also becomes Superman in the story. And last but not least, the character of Lizzo. For the overall story rating, I give it a 7 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.